We back again. Like we said, 8:30. Let's get it. We got to get this whole storyline down so you can see what's happening here. Oh, yeah. Never have it been made so clear. We got to keep it clean. YouTube, we know how to do it now. No profanity. No stuff that's gone, we know what to do now. Get them back in here, man. This one, we looked through the couple slides and we said we'll call this one Alalu finds gold, because that's pretty much the synopsis of this joint. Let's see. We'll use this thumbnail for that one. Okay, about to get cracking, y'all. We get them time to get in here. Let me switch to that laptop. We about to roll. Hey, we almost get to the good part. And we almost get to the good part, y'all. Can y'all hear me loud and clear out there? YouTube land. Look at this chat pulled up. Peace and love throughout the boundless universe. We back. We about to get it cracking and rolling, y'all. Alalu strikes gold. That's the name of this one. Let's get to the slides that we left off at. We're about to get it going, man. If they ain't in the next 25 seconds, they gonna have to rewind it back, man. All right, about to get to the good stuff in a minute. We're building up to where Inky and them come about. We left off right here. This is where we left off at. All right, we're giving them time to get in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, family, as you come in. Rob boys in the building. Saving game. You already know how we doing it. Follow me on Instagram at theyoungelder023. Right? We about to get this crack in. Right, so we're about to take off, man. With everybody else, we gave them time to get. We gave them time to get in here. We told them we'll be back at 8:30. So we left off where Mother Hoover created her base on Titan and started genetically engineering reptilian species to counteract the insects. Led up to where she kept crossbreeding, she had a water army at first. And then she got a ground army, and now she got an air army. So she got the Navy. No, going back in there. No, close that door. Yeah, so she had a ground army. So it was time for him to go to bed too, because it's school. Yeah, you get to school tomorrow. School. You already know what time it is. Big. But Haru, he a genius though. Yeah, so we gave him time to get in here. So Mother Hoover goes to Titan and start engineering. She eventually creates her water navy first, the Ninja Turtles. Then she creates her ground army. We don't got a picture of the ground army, they don't got the wings. And then she creates the ground, like the army. Then she creates her air force, which is the Dragon with wings. But the problem was with these beings is that they wasn't that intelligent. If more intelligent than the Anunnaki she wanted to take over. And two, they were noticeable. they didn't look like the Anunnakis. You can notice they was ugly reptilian beings. So they were noticeable, so they couldn't infiltrate the Anunnakis. So Mother Hoover said, I got to come up with another solution to where these beings, while my military can look like the Anunnakis, but at the same time, they be my military looking like the reptilians. So she went in the lab and started use her own image and her own DNA to crossbreed with these Hindus and these Tridacidites on they was on Pluto too and the moon, but they was on Titan, and she was doing the experiment crossbreeding to get the humanoid looking being. And that species produced a race that they call jinns, a race they call the jinns, which were really Vulcans species, humanoid species. They show these beings in Star Trek. And keep in mind about the unibrow that he got. The unibrow, right? Matter of fact, if you pull up on Star Trek, let me show you something real quick. Because they show you, they teach you, they supposed to educate you, and they are, but you think that it's science fiction. It's really no such thing as science fiction. So let me show you something on it's either on Star Trek or Star Wars. Let's look at this right here. Vulcans. It might be Star Trek. Star Trek. They show you what these beings look like. All right. So look. So Baba showed you Tanish in the all right. So you see this, they got the white ones in here, but they got some black ones. Hold up. Let me show you. The black ones are the originals, like this dude here. Look at his ears. Look at his ears. See how his ears like the L-shaped ears. This is a good one right here. This kind of would type. Let's put that side by side. We're gonna side by side that for you. Say that. Let's side by side this with Tanish. We're gonna show you these Vulcans, man. They show them on Star Trek. All right, so you see this dude. Look at Tanish. Look at the eyebrows. Look at the ears. See, this was their species that lived on Meldick, but they look like these beings at first, but they through engineering they became humanoid looking, mixing with the Hindus. These the ones that came from Centaurians and Procon. So they show you these beings in the Star Trek movie right there. He got his head shaved bald, but these are the same beings we're gonna end up coming down to deal with. You see, look how he look. And it's a whole, you go look up the Star Trek. So they telling you about what the history. I'm gonna you gonna, as I go through these slides and show you the connections, you're gonna be shocked when you see the connections they've been showing you the whole storyline the whole time, right before your face. But a lot of people just looked it over because their attention span was short. So they've been teaching their people the whole time. So you see that dude got the same features as Tanish because they're the same beings. They call the Vulcans on and they was a member. Look at, they got the symbol, the Ash Star Command symbol right there on his jersey, on his suit. And it's the type of uniforms these beings wore to Tanish them. They wear uniforms like this, right? Mother Hoover's clan, the Galactic Republic. All right. They end up going, Mother Hoover ended up taking all her clans and specimens before they attack Saturn. They end up infiltrating Saturn. They end up relocating to the Draco star system, which is a star system inside of the Orion constellation. They end up relocating, or the Vulcans the same as the jinns, yeah. But it's different types of jinns. They like the head species of jinns. I'm gonna show you when I get to the part talking about the two, because these jinns were, some of these species of jinns were part of the Gigis. They were the helpers of the Anunnakis. They were doing work and fighting or whatever they had them doing. You know what I'm saying? But a group of them turned against the Anunnakis, the ones that were living on Mars. We're about to show you. We're gonna show you that later on in the timeline. Also, another something from the same type of species, but from another evolution of species, was those Troglodytes and the Hindus mixed on Pluto, and this was the leader of those beings that came about from there, and they ended up coming to the moon. Well, really, they came to Tiamat before the Anunnakis came, and he was the scientist that ended up bringing that plutonium and drilling down because he got mad. The long story short, you can read all about this in the Holy Tablets. This right here, it's off page 32. Bible breaks down the creation of the moon. This right here is the 66 billion years ago, before they drove the moon, before they put the moon that's there down. They actually parked that moon there. But the moon that was there before that, this scientist named Luna, actually blew that part off and got stuck on that side. Bible break that down in the Holy Tablets. And like I say, we're going to have the Holy Tablets in the links, right? In the descriptions. But like I say, when I do this whole, some people say the Holy Tablets is outdated, and it kind of is outdated when you collect all, because what I did is I studied the Holy Tablets in depth, and then I got all Zechariah Stitching books, all 12 books. Studied his books. We studied all the other scientists that put information out on the Sumerian tablets, right? And we combine all of what they said. So like I got 10 different guys. If all 10 of them saying the same thing, then we say that's most likely how the story went. If 5 of them saying one thing and 5 saying the other, we got to do more in-depth research on it, because one half saying this and one half saying another. Now, 6 guys out of the 10 is saying the same thing, and the other guys are saying similar. Well, we'll take what those 6 guys got, and that should be the percentage. We base it on percentage on the research that we're doing. So this is a combination of what Bible said, Zechariah Stitching. But I understand that Zechariah Stitching, he did a good job. I got to give it, and that's why we say his name is Zechariah Snitching, really, because he snitched on the Anunnakis and told all that shit, really, in his own little way. But he don't have melanin, so it's a lot of stuff that he didn't get grasped because he couldn't go that high in his mental capacity. I'm telling you. But no offense to Zechariah Stitching, he did a great job. My hat. Because at first, before I studied all Zechariah Stitching books, I was like, I was talking against him that's because of what I heard. But once I studied his books, I said, "Damn, Zechariah, I see why his name's Zechariah Snitching," because he was telling he told it in 12 different books about who these cats were and what they were doing in his own little way. So we got some. And then we got the Man from Planet Riz, the Black Book. We got all kind of books, all the stuff Baba put out on it. And we got several other books from other doctors and scholars on this subject. So I ain't just making all this shit up. I got extra. I showed y'all the book. I'm gonna show y'all some more books on another segment. Probably we'll do another I'm gonna just probably do a library card book book every week. Like I'm gonna show different books every week, to where we could just study out of those books, just like in school when you study out of certain books. So the book that we probably read, I'm gonna show a book, and we're gonna study from that book for a whole week, right? We're gonna do like 3 classes out of that book, to where we talk about do a summary or something on that, though, So we bringing all this. Ain't just what one person said. This is all the scholars that did research on it. Like I said, we even got Ben Carson's books. Billy Carson's. We even got other people, all the people that Raw Hayes told us to get. We got all those books here. We putting it together real nice and neat and tight right now. But they was living on a planet called Meldick, these the originals, reptilian seed, and Tiamat. Right? All right. Say the whole plan, Mother Hoover's whole plan was to create a chameleon. These are beings are chameleons. We create a reptilian clan that would blend in with the Anunnakis, and they can infiltrate, kind of like a Trojan horse. And her whole plan at first was to infiltrate Saturn, to take over Saturn, because Saturn was a satellite camp in this solar system for the reptilians. And then they end up, before they invaded though, they got delayed through a treaty that Anu made. We're gonna get to that part. They got delayed for the attack. The Mother Hoover just kept building her army. She went to the Dragons, kept building her army up. And her whole game plan is, I'm gonna overthrow these, and I'm gonna overthrow all these suckers, because I'm supposed to be ruling. I'm the one I'm the creator and cream of the crop. I'm the maker. Why women can't rule? Because you got to keep in mind, it's a patriarchs and the Anunnaki bloodline. It's a patriarchs where they hold on, let me see, can I fix this TV form in here? Because I'm gonna tell you, man, the new TVs, these people think that they slick, man. What they do is, you buy this new TV, right? And you put it up, you got the remote for 6 months, then all of a sudden the remote just stopped working. Ain't nothing wrong with it, and it just stopped working. And then they make you buy a remote on your phone. They make you buy a remote on your phone, man. That's the game. So they can charge you $20. They want to charge you $10 a month for a remote, or you get paid $50 to get a. Come on, man. It's they study. It's like the greed is it's a crunch. The greed. We're gonna have to do a tape on that, man. We're talking about what's going on in the world right now, because that's crazy what they're doing, right? But yeah, so they wanted to invade Saturn, but they got delayed. We're gonna get into that. But Mother Hoover kept building her military and Dragons. Meanwhile, Anu got word that Saturn was about to be invaded, but they didn't invade him then. So what he did is moved his father and his mother and them to the new solar system that he had just created, which he had made the capital, which was Sirius. He had made capital the new capital, Sirius A, put the new capital there. And they had evacuated a lot of people from reptilians, abducted a lot of reptilians from Earth to start seeding this area, which they became known as the Nomos later. But he moved them to Sirius because they thought that Saturn was about to get invaded by these reptilians. So the war is getting, the tensions is getting high in the galaxy. People don't know what's about to go on. Everybody's on edge. These reptilians, they building the army. Anu got word. Anu knowing the whole time they gonna invade. He just waiting on them to do it. He already gonna put Michael on them, right? So he moved his family, moved his mama and them off Saturn. That's when they left Saturn and came to Sirius. Meanwhile, Lamu makes his way back, because remember what Zechariah Stitches says, that Lamu got killed, that Alalu killed him, and that he killed him by making him fall off the balcony at at his palace when they was in the Pegasus galaxy. But these people don't die. And that ain't how the other, but Zechariah Stitchin is the only one that say that out of all the 10 scholars. And but the other scholars, the majority of the scholars say that he got his ship sabotaged and he didn't make it back. And that eventually he came back. Him and his people, they made their way back to Milky Way. And when he came back, Anu asked him because he was the most high before he left. But Anu asked him, did he want for a challenge? And he said, no, you can have it. You can have it because you are already running stuff and it's already going good. So he didn't want to challenge Anu. He wanted to just stay in the background. So and keep in mind, Anu had placed Alalu over Orion as the inner. I'm going to talk about that. So Lamu ended up popping back up, right? And keep in mind, at this time, once Anu had beat him with the design of the planets, he made Alalu the ambassador over Orion, so that when these different extraterrestrials was coming in from other galaxies, they could come to intake right here and then get checked in. He was like a foreign ambassador for all the foreign people that was coming in. And it was a lot of mixed species that came out of that when these beings were coming to this galaxy, to the Orion galaxy, right? This right here is about the Orion stars is about maybe about 1,300, something like that, light years. The one in the middle, 1,400, 1,200, somewhere around that light years away from Earth. So he was over, Alalu was over Orion, but he ended up getting, once they found out about what he did, that he sabotaged Lamu's ships. Once he made it back, he told him that Alalu sabotaged his ships. Then and he was already doing bad over the intake, so a new fired him. He got banned. He got banned from Orion, from heaven. Orion is what they call heaven in the Bible. It translates in the Greek, they call it Oranos, and it translates to heaven, right? So this was the main heaven. This and connected with Cyrus was the main part they talking about. That's heaven, right? But they would have the international and all the courts and all the main capital. Orion is the capital of this part, with Cyrus being the other capital, the main capital. That's why they say the North Star. They always base everything off the North Star, right? But he ended up getting fired and banned from heaven, getting cast out of heaven, right? Out of Orion. When he got cast, he really got banned from Cyrus too, but Anu allowed him to go visit his mother and the father and Cyrus before he got banned. And he was supposed to, he got exiled from this part, right? So that's what happens, right? So he goes to visit his mother and his father, and he landed in Cyrus. The ship that he was driving a type of ship that ran off hydrogen energy. So he needed to refuel before he left. So he landed in Cyrus, right? To visit his mother and his father. This is kind of like a type of ship that he had, right? A hydrogen fueled ship. When he got there, he came to refuel on one of their planets, because they got a lot of planets in Cyrus that's covered with water, these Nomos planets. So he landed to refuel, right, on one of these planets and visit his father. One of the planets he landed on was ruled by was not called Mir, which was ruled by a queen named Queen Mir, who was already a mixed species between these fish Nomos beings and these humanoid Hindus who came from Nirvana and Siren and the Centaurian star system. They was already mixed, and half they were what you call the mermaids, right? The Nomos. They were really Nomos, but they what you call mermaids, and it was different species. These were here, they were the newer species, these types. The dark skin, half fish, they were the newer types. But the older types look more fish looking and humanoid looking. Go watch Harry Potter. They show you these beings on Harry Potter. And because some of them live in that lake, actually live in that lake in England. Well, the Harry Potter lake in Scotland, right? Where they live underwater. Go watch Harry Potter. They show you these beings, right? We're going to get down to Cain and Thor, and we're going to get down to Jesus, all that. We're going to get down to all that, Billy Masters. It's all going to be connected at the end. So when he seen this lady, Alalu seen this lady, and I saw people, they were using Adi's father's picture for Alalu. And I got the idea why they used that picture, because they really got that from me when I told them that Alalu was crossbred with his seed with the Nomos. So so they right and accurate when using the description that they using for Alalu about him being half like human, half Nomos or reptilian. But that ain't, but the picture they using is not Alalu. That's really Adi's father. He was out there. He Dragonians. They humanoid Dragonians, the first type of species. But he ended up when he saw this queen, he wanted to get with her. He wanted to get busy with her. He wanted her bad because she rejected him. She turned that she didn't treat him because he was royalty. Keep in mind these Anunnakis, and they weren't called Anunnakis yet because they had not yet came to Earth. Although they had seeded Earth with a seed to grow and evolve. So he wanted to get busy with her bad, but she didn't want to get busy with him because she told him that he wasn't of her kind, and that she only get down with her kind. So being that they knew about cloning and transferring of consciousness and all that already due to back in the Asgard galaxy, this is Queen, like this is what image of what she would look like. She was dark, they were dark skinned with the there was different colors on the scales, just like the fish here. And I already did a tape called Neptune and all that. So you go back and look at that, and a mermaid tape. You already go look at that, right? People that's already been with us, they know. But these Centaurians or these Hindus, they were crossbreeding with everything, dogs, everything. We're about to get to that. The 200 fallen, Igigis, right? So he ended up slicing his DNA and with the Nomos. It became part Nomos, part Anunnaki. And he married Queen Mir. They ended up getting married. Queen Mir. And but he was exiled from that galaxy, from Sirius and Orion. So he had to leave. So he told her that he broke the news to her. He said that I gotta leave because I'm exiled by my brother. And so I gotta go, but I got this home planet called Neptune that I designed, and it's suitable for me and you and our family, right? Because they had 2 children, and they made a movie about this stuff. What they don't tell you about the son, but they tell you about they don't tell you about the son, but they tell you about the little daughter when they make the movie about the little mermaids. His daughter name was Ariel, right? Remember in the mermaid movie? So he had a daughter, he had twins, a daughter and a son, and he had to leave. So he and his wife and his daughter, they left, but the son, he opted to stay and become the chief of the tribe of their planet. His son decided to stay and become the chief of the planet in Sirius, while him and his wife and his daughter, which they made a movie about called Little Mermaids, you think they just made that shit up off the top of their head? I'm telling you, man. Before Inky was really, before they started try to say was Inky was Poseidon, really Alalu was Poseidon, the Dogon. They call him Dogon. What the Dogon people call the Dogon god, the king of the Nomos. And then he even told the people when he got here that he was Anu. That I'm Anu. I'm Anu. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Most High. I'm the king. I'm the guy that's running out. But he got kicked out of Cyrus, out of the heaven. He got kicked out of heaven by his brother. He got exiled off of Nibiru and out of Orion. So he and his wife and his daughter left, and they was headed for Neptune. And their ship ran off of water because they had to have a water ship because that's what their avatar type was. So they had a water type ship, right? So they left. They headed for Neptune, for the planet that he had designed already that was conducive to him and his family type. And there was several different ships that left with him that chose to leave with the queen. And being that Alalu was the king now, a lot of Nomos left with him, these mermaid types on these water type ships, and they was coming to Neptune. Right, and the first at that time, Mars, Lamu, was a moon to Tiamat, right? And so it had water on it, and it still got water on it right now. But they stopped. They had a rest stop on Mars to try to refuel. But when they tried to refuel there, the people there told them they were low on supplies and that they ought to go to Tiamat to refuel on the water, on the hydrogen. What they would do is they would pull up on over ocean and they roll it like they send like a vortex energy down and it suck the water out the ocean. I'm gonna show you how it works. And then they got a machine on their ship that will break down the molecules of the water and split the hydrogen from the oxygen. And they would use the hydrogen as fuel and to breathe it, or in the oxygen, because they had a combination of several different gases they were breathing. All right. The beings that were here were these Dragonians who had mixed in with these Hindus or these Centaurians, and they was already starting to develop a humanoid look or hairy look, just like the ape look or whatever, right? And he had he mixed with one of these beings, these Centaurians who came here, and some of them had these Centaurians. Some of them didn't have straight hair, like the Etruscans. They had like a curly hair. I'm gonna show. They had a curly hair, not an anteater hair, but a curly type hair, and they was here mixing in with these beings. And he had a daughter named Ida, when Alalu came here, when he landed on Earth to refuel him and his people. His people, right? And they was headed for Neptune, right? Okay, hold up. So when Alalu came here and pulled his people, they pulled over, and they started. This how it looked when they sucking that water up into their craft. Their craft will appear as a cloud, and it just look like water just being tornadoed up into a cloud. But it's really these ships pulling over the ocean, refueling. And so Earth is a high commodity just off of the water, because there's some beings that still got these ships that fly off of water. Because they are water beings. They got to be in water like a fish, like a nomos. The nomos got to have water. They can't be out of water for a long time, so they got to have water. So the nomos ships will pull up over your ocean and cloak themselves to look like a cloud, and then you'll see these tornadoes going up, and you'll be like, dang, what's this? A big tornado. But it's really, they put sucking up water out of this into their ship to refuel it and for the drinking and keep them dehydrated, right? And it can separate the salt and all that, because they use some of them like fresh water. So as the Alalu pulled over and started fueling his ship, and the machine started separating the water, they found gold particles in the water. And so Alalu said, oh yeah, man, he was happy about this, right? Because Anu needed gold for his business. This right here is before the crash, before Riz got attacked, before Earth got hit, before Meldeck got destroyed, right? He pulled over and he started extract. He saw the gold in there, and then so he immediately beamed a message to Anu back to the ship, and he told the Tenubru, he told them that I have found a gold deposit, and I think it's big. And you got and we got to get this. He said that this gold it'll generate our business. It'll blow us up. It's enough gold here to blow us up. To where we'll be running the whole game. We'll be making thousands of ships, millions of ships. Our wealth will increase. So he summoned for Anu immediately come to Tiamat, and it's the first time Anu come to Tiamat right here. This before Enki was born. Right, this how it look when they pull over and suck up the water. When these crowds pull over, you'll see that water going up like that. You don't know what's happening. And also the ship that the mother plane, Elijah Muhammad breaks down in the mother plane book that the wheel will pull over up into the air, and then it'll roll out a hose a mile long, and then it'll start sucking air because it fly off hydrogen energy. It fly off hydrogen fuel. So it'll start sucking up the hydrogen fuel, the hydrogen out the air. Right? Okay. So that's how it look when they sucking up that water. Here go another one that they caught on film. So when you see this happening, these are nomos, usually beings that live in water. Nomos, mostly it's nomos that come in here that's doing it. These mermaid type beings is different types of nomos, and they pull over and suck up the water like it refueled off of your planet, right? So he found out there was gold in the seawater. In the water, and then when he was refueling, so he summoned for Anu immediately to come to Earth, extracting gold from seawater. Right? You know about that. Okay. So Alalu summoned for his brother Anu, and he used this discovery to get back in Anu's graces, to not to be exiled, to come out of exile. And so he told Anu, man, they got gold here by the pound, man. We got to get it out of here, man. You got to come down here and see what's going on. So Anu came to Earth. Him and his court, some of his people, they came to Earth, and then landed on Earth. This is before Enki was born. As far as in the physicals, on the physical side of the mirror, because we all existed in the microcosmic prior to, just all of us just don't cross over. Some of us stay on the other side, on that side of the mirror. And I broke all that down when I broke the the 7 million count inside of the one shot. Now this is a new brother, one of his oldest brothers from another concubine that wasn't, so he didn't become an heir because the heir got to be from a direct descendant from the first wife. So he didn't become an heir but he was Anu's advisor, and he was his father's advisor, Anshaw advisor. Right? He became, when Anu became the Most High, he became Anu's brother, his older brother, who was an Anunnaki, became his advisor. Right? So Alalu went into the office, Anu's on Nubaru, and talked business. And they said that it was already a species here, and they couldn't take the territory because there was certain laws on the books then. It was certain laws on the books, galactic laws about the rights to the mineral rights to planets. So they couldn't just come down and start extracting gold without the permission of the people that was here. And that was the Dragonian people, the reptilians that evolved over time, like I told you about. Right? But Alalu told him, in order for since I discovered this gold, I want you to give me a 30% stake in the claim on the business, and I want you to take lift the restrictions, the exile off of me. And so Anu needed the gold because the business was hurting. Business was hurting. He needed the gold bad, so he made the deal with Alalu and released the restrictions on him and gave him 30% stake in the business. But he said it. But then after he made the deal, Alalu told him that's one catch, and Anu said, "What's that catch?" He said that you got to convince the leader of these Dragonians to get the gold, right? The gold right here, right? And this right here was the leader, and I'm not gonna try to say his name, but it's like it's like Sas. I can't even say his name. It's like he got like a snake hiss type name, right? But this is this is Inky's granddad, who was Dragonian, and they were starting to evolve into the humans, right? Through the mixing of the DNA. Right? So Anu ended up convincing him, but he had to marry his daughter in order they didn't really trust the Anunnakis. Because they know the Anunnakis known for blowing stuff up and doing all kind of stuff and not caring about the ways of their planet. And they had already spent a lot of time. Their ancestors had spent a lot of time running the grid on Earth Tiamat. Right? It cost them later on getting in bed with the Anunnakis too, but on Tiamat. But so Anu agreed to marry his daughter. Right? This is his daughter. This is Inky's mother. Anu said, "Man, I gotta have that gold, so I'll do it. I'll marry her." Then she was already a humanoid looking with a little bit of the Anunnaki genetics because of these, like I told you, these Centaurians. I'm about to get into them niggas, man. Okay, about to get into the Centaurians. But so his daughter he mixed with a full-blooded, one of these full-blooded humans. So his daughter was really part Anunnaki, if you want to say. She was like part Dragonian, part Anunnaki, or part Centaurian, right? All right. So he ended up marrying her. Anu made the deal, married her, and they started Alalu and his team, because Alalu was put in charge of the project at first. And then he brought Adi back on Nubaru with him. And keep in mind, he had already had another wife that didn't have a heir yet. Antum was his real half sister, his real wife, first wife. And Inky's mother was the wife that he took, making the deal for the gold treaty that Alalu had discovered. They birthed on Nubaru. They birthed their first son. His name was Inky. Now, they didn't call him Inky at that time. His name was Namud. That's what they called him, Namud. And he later on got the name Inky once he came to Earth. Okay? They're Anunnakis. Hey, man, you know what I'm talking about. when I say they know how the young elder talk. We down here, we down south. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we down south, so we got like a little slur and a little slur in our language down here. We talk with a, you know, baby, woody, say, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's how we talk down here, man. So you know what I say when I say Anunnaki, right? You know what I say. But we leave, we get to the, and now we're going to get to the good stuff. Let's see how long we got. We're going to watch to run 2 of them tonight because we had 40 minutes. We're going to run another one, and then we're probably going to be off this one at 10:30, and then we'll come by you back in less than 10 or 15 minutes, and then come with another one because I'm kind of crunked tonight. So we'll try to get 3 of them off tonight. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's keep going. So Anu's first son is Enki, not Mud. His oldest son, he taught him, he grew up to be strong and brave. Oh, there we go. All right, so Alalu was put over the gold, right? Mission at first. Right, he was there. They was getting the goal. It was doing all right, but it wasn't producing numbers like all the hype that he told Anu. He had hyped Anu up like, man, it's a whole bunch of gold here, and we gonna be doing this, man. We about to take off. This is about to be it, right? We about to be running the game right now, right? But it wasn't going as good, right? Meanwhile, Anu birthed another son named Enlil. Now get a close look at this dude. And keep in mind that they got a picture in the Holy Tablets, but that ain't a good picture because they don't got him with the unibrow. Enlil had a unibrow. See, they look at the unibrow. We got him. We got him. That's him right there. That's the real picture. Just like that picture I just showed you of Enki is really Enki. And Baba said that he was 6 foot. And that dude, Yahweh, King Yahweh, he exactly, I think, 6 foot or 6'1". I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Now, Enlil was a little taller because he was a full-blooded Anunnaki. Enki wasn't full-blooded Anunnaki. He was part Dragonian. They were short. The ones that were here, they were shorter. And that's from his mother's side. So he wasn't as tall and big in structure as Enlil because Enlil was a full-blooded Anunnaki. And he had, look at that unibrow. See, look at that unibrow right there. We got him. We got him, bro. That's him. Look at the hat. Look at the hat with the line, with the blue line. Look at that line right there. Look at the blue line. Look how big he is. Look how big his body is compared to that lady. We got him right there, bro. I'm telling you. Go watch the tape called Enlil Come Down from Innumerable. We got him already in that tape. Right? Enlil also, when Enlil was born, he had a twin sister named Belial. He had a twin sister, but he didn't want to marry her. He ain't like her because he ain't like his sister. But this was his sister. See, his name was Nun, trying to say it's Nun Amnir, Nunanir. That's how you say his name, which means the light of the fish. That was his name before he became Enlil, the ruler of the heavens, right? But he had a twin sister. So this a new daughter, Anu's first daughter was we couldn't find a twin for Enki. He might have had a twin too though, but nobody talked about it in none of the documents that we went over. But Belit was Enki's twin sister. Anu had several wives. Now these pictures right here we got because we got an idea what they look like. And we just got these pictures to give you an idea, you know what I'm saying, of what they look like. Now we got these 2 pictures from the Holy Tablets from Baba. Now he had several other concubines besides his main wife. And they birthed several tribes. He had 80, Lanu had 80 children by all these women, different children. He had this is Hanuel's mother. Hanuel's mother. This is Mother Ninti's mother. This is Inky's mother. This is Enlil's mother. Right? And this is Nisbak's mother. And he got several other children. This lady, I think also this lady is also Akachiel's mother, the first elder. So he also birthed a daughter named Mother Ninti. Now her name wasn't Ninti at first. She was called Ninhursag. Ninhursag. I think that was one of her names. Yeah, Ninhursag is what Zechariah Stitchen referred to as. All right. Also, you had another son named Nusku, who became known as Hanuel Gabriel Jibrael in your Quran, Gabriel in your Bible, the son of Anu and his mother. And he became Enlil's messenger. He became Yahweh Elohim's messenger, the messenger of God, the messenger of Enlil. Right? This is Nisbak's another daughter of Anu that he had. All these people were born before the crash took place. See, because they mix you up. In the Holy Tablets, it says that Anu first time coming here was 500 million years ago. But then the crash happened 24 billion years ago, and Murdoch was flying the ship. Murdoch was Inky's son, so that's incorrect. That's incorrect. That's why they said the tablets is outdated, because they tampered with them. So we got to put everything back in order for you. Right? So he had another daughter named, I think I've said her name, Nizbak, right? So all these are just started the generations of the Anunnakis. Hold on, what we at? We got about 46 minutes. Let's keep going. All right. Alalu had a daughter named Damkina. So keep in mind, she had a little bit of reptilian in her from the Nomos. She was a little bit of the Nomos humanoid beings, but she was part Anunnaki from her mother. Like she was like half Anunnaki. Like she was really 3/4 Anunnaki and 1/4 reptilian. So Alalu had a daughter named Damkina, and part of that deal. A deal that he made in that contract that he made a new sign with him, he said that in order for me to get back in the air, my first daughter got to marry your first son. So Damkina married Inky, right? And they produced the first grandson of Anu. The oldest grandson of Anu is Yanun, Murdoch, by Inky and Damkina. Right? And this was part of a treaty that was made between Alalu and Anu in order to get him back in the graces of Anu and to get him back in the royal bloodline of the family. With his heir be back in there. So Yanun is the grandson of Alalu and the grandson of Anu. So he was the first line to bring the both families back together between Alalu and Anu through Inky and Damkina. Right? But you still will pick a little bit, right, from the reptilians, right? That's why this from the Dragonians, but we're gonna show you a little bit. Hold up. Also, they had a daughter who was Murdoch's sister named Balit. I think I'm saying her name right. Balit. Right? Murdoch's sister. Murdoch ended up getting son. When Murdoch started to grow up, a new son him back to Riz to go to school and to study. Right? So he ended up going back to Riz and studying and leaving off Nubaru and went to Riz. That's how he became known as a man from planet Riz. I think he was actually born on Risk. I think he was born on Risk between Damkina and Murdoch. I mean, Damkina and Inky. That's what I want to say. And he stayed on there and went to school on Risk. That's why he became known as the man from Planet Risk, right? Also, while he was going to school there, Mother Hoover also saw her child, her baby. It's because of the contract, because of the new Dragonian treaty that Anu had just made by marrying the Dragonian princess, that cooled the war down for a little bit, and that allowed these Vulcans, these Dragonian humanoids, to allow them to come to Riz to go to school, but they was only restricted to one part of the one planet, I mean one continent out of the 3 continents, right? So this Tanush became brilliant right up under Murdoch, and he became second in command, right? But the whole time he was going to be plotting to take over and blow up the Squad Riz and they was going to start the war, kick the wall, right, from Mother Hoover. Right, Mother Hoover baby right here, Mother Hoover's baby, right? Mother Hoover's baby. It's her baby right here, Tanush. So he got a little bit of Dragon, I mean, a little bit of Anunnaki in him, right? So he go to this Elium right here, and these are the 3 planets. I mean, the 3 continents, and they was only restricted to one. Right. Meanwhile, while he was on Riz, he saw an Anunnaki lady, and he took advantage of her. I gotta say it a certain way, but he I can't say the word because I don't want to make it a bad tape, get flagged. But he took advantage of her and birthed a son. So Hela, look at the Willow's Peak. Keep in mind that Willow's Peak gonna come back up. Hela is his mother was an Anunnaki, so he part Anunnaki. Look at his hair; he don't got straight hair. These Etruscans, this type of hair they got. You see, these Etruscans come from Hela. Now, see, the original Hindus with Tanush, now when they mixed the reptilians, they had more of a straighter type of hair. But then Hela, his seed was a little different. They had these Etruscans. We're gonna get into them in a minute. If the call come, hey, niggas ain't gonna want to be Moors after this, after we drop this whole series right here. I'll tell you, like this whole Anunnaki series. So you see his hair is a little bit more woollier than the regular Hindus. Keep that in mind. Right? So the whole time, boom, they invaded. Mother Hoover called down for the play. Mother Hoover called the play. Boom, they invaded Saturn. They invaded Saturn when Mother Hoover called the play. Right? Reptilians invaded Saturn. The ones that looked like them was already there. The ones that looked like Tanush was already there. Blended in with them. Look like us, but they ain't us. Type of thing already. And they already blended in. So what they do, they does over like a Trojan horse, took over the planet. Boom. This simultaneously, well, not simultaneously, a little after that, Tanush attacks Riz with an aerosol bomb. It happens after hold on, let's go back. It happens after Murdoch. Anu gives Murdoch command of the flagship Nubaru, because he had created another layer. He had, in Eliun, he created a 9th layer. He moved up to the 9th dimension and created a layer to where he was living at with his wives, and they weren't even know. They got off of Nubaru, right? At first, they got off of Nubaru until Murdoch got called back to Earth by Inky, right? Hold up. So he put Murdoch in charge. When Murdoch got put in charge, he put Tanush second in command. Tanush got mad and said that he was more brilliant than Murdoch. So he got mad, but the whole time, that was just a whole game, because he was going to attack him anyway, under the orders of his mother. So he used an aerosol type bomb and they blew the aerosol type bomb and attacked the ozone layer of Nubaru, of Riz. and caused holes in the ozone layer. And the three suns was shining through, causing ultra radiation poison, and it was killing people off because we was in the process then of creating the ascension technology, where we was doing it every certain amount of hours a day. Keep in mind, 3 days, I mean, 1 day on Riz is 195 Earth days. So the ultraviolet lights through the three suns began to shine through and cause a disease, a plague, where it started to kill, to hold us back or stop us, start like a disease, because we were already in the process of the ascension, right? So look, so 1 day on Riz is 3 Earth years. This is extreme mathematics for you right here. This is for my mathematics guys, you know. This is for my mathematic guys, right? 1 day on Riz is 3 Earth days. I mean, 3 Earth years. 1 day on Riz is 72 hours, which is 195 Earth days. 15 days and 20 hours for 1 hour on Riz. So 1 hour is 15 Earth days and 20 hours. 19 Riskian days is 1 month on Riz, which is 20,805 Earth days. 19 Riskian months is 1 Riskian year, which is 395,295. So one dang gone year for them is 395. I say this where it's to say 400,000 Earth days. 400,000 Earth days is 1 Earth year to them, and the time frame can be much broader. Right, we're gonna get into the time frame on Nubaru too, though, because on Nubaru 1 day is 30 days. 1 day. So in order to repair risk, we needed this gold, because gold could be thinned it out to real thin. So we needed this gold to bring back to risk. And also, like I said, we was doing that ascension thing, so it was affecting us, affecting our light body when we was trying to ascend, when they put the hole in the ozone layer. So a new son, Murdoch, straight back to the place to go get the gold, and secretly to really attack the beings that was on Saturn, and to attack the beings that was on Neptune, and because they was involved with Alalu secretly, because Alalu secretly told them how to attack how to attack Risk. So their attack on Pluto, because these beings were living on Pluto. These beings that we was after, they was starting a war. They had a military base on Pluto, so we hit Pluto. That's why Pluto got knocked out of his orbit. We hit Neptune and we hit Meldeck and pretty much destroyed it, because that's where they were home base, the origin of them. We destroyed it, boom. And then we hit Tiamat next from the satellites, but we didn't really want to hit Tiamat because the gold operation was there. So we tried to miss Tiamat, but we accidentally crashed into it. Hold on, how many minutes I'm at right now? So we're going to get to the point where they came to Earth and created the humans and all that, and then Ertu and all the other sons that were born, like Nanar, we're going to get into them, and Ishtar on the next part, right? So really, they said we lie and say that it was an accident, but really Murdoch came to attack them, all those people that was on them planets, secretly by Anu. Anu put him to attack them. Anu be doing some little slick stuff in the background though. I be noticing, like he gave then Ertu the commands to unleash the nuclear weapons, and he said, because he believed in fate. Anu believed in fate. He said if it's something that's happened, he said, oh, it's the fate. It's always fate. He believed in fate. You know what I'm saying? Let the fate decide. That's how he do things. Let the fate decide. Let's flip a coin. Anu will flip a coin. I'm gonna tell you, man. Anu will come down here and you say you smart enough to argue with him, and you argue with him, right? And you all say you want to be the king of Anunnaki, right? He'll say, all right, let's flip a coin for it. That's how simple. Hey, he'll say, all right, let's flip a coin for it. You win, then I flip this coin, and if it land on tails and you call tails, you can be the king of the Anunnaki. That's how simple Anu make shit. He didn't say, all right, look at let's flip a coin for it. Because he did that before. He did that before, man. In the book, Zachariah Stitchin talk about it. Right? He pulled lots with Enki and Enlil and Enki, Enlil, and Alalu. He flipped the coin, like pulled lots. They said they pulled, like they picked the scrolls or whatever, right? So it talks about the crash. We go into the crash, right? Let's see. We had about 59 minutes. Let me try to run this last little piece about Nubaru coming in. So, all right, so this is Meldick that was in between Mars and Jupiter. Boom, we crashed. We've intentionally crashed right into it to blow them and disintegrated them. Boom, knocked them out of orbit. Now they had in the water, they had four warrior ships from these beings named called the ninjas that lived in the water. And when they got attacked, they immediately launched the attack against us, these 4 fighter ships. Right? They were huge too, compared to Nubaru. See, he go right here, show you a picture where they locked into the force field. So as we crashed and tow up, we almost crashed into Neptune too. We pulled back, causing a magnetic storm and a budge, killing 2/3 of the planet. Because the beings that were living there were living on the water, and Nubaru caused a magnetic storm and killed and wiped out 2/3 of their planet. The only ones that survived were the ones that was on land. It's like when you take electric shock to a lake and you shock the fish and they fall up to the top. That what happened when Nubaru attacked them. This is what it looked like. A magnetic storm hit them. Boom. They were covered with water. So electricity hit water. Murdoch zapped them. Boom. Murdoch zapped that water. Boom. And then when he hit them with that electric bolt from Nubaru, a lot of them died. Boom. Then we continued on. We said that they caused a magnetic storm, but we really zapped they behind. Because on Meldick, these beings were living on there. And they're the ones that attacked in the ship. Here go the 4 ships that got caught in the whirlwinds. The west wind, east wind, south wind, right? All these were the ships that got locked. When they attacked us, Nubaru had build a system on this where it had a magnetic force field around it. And it's got a what they call EMP or electromagnetic pulse. What it does is they locked into the magnetic gravity, and then the Nubaru sent out a magnetic pulse, like on the Matrix. On the Matrix, when the machines or these little things coming out after them, they wait till they get on them, and then they hit this button, this electromagnetic pulse, and it kills them, right? So Nubaru got that same type of technology, and so when they got into the force field, it zapped them, and it defunctioned, demobilized their equipment. So they just was locked into a Nubaru force field coming around after we broke Murdoch, destroyed Meldick. So this is Nubaru coming into the asteroid belt at. Where the asteroid belt at, those pieces from the asteroid belt come from Meldick, or Vulcan. It was called, one of the names for the planets was called Vulcan. So their planet got destroyed by Murdoch in the war. Because the war was on now. Once they said, hey, Anu like to get it popping. Once Murder Hoover did an attack and they said it was on, then Anu said it's on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, he like Lil Baby. When Lil Baby said, play if you want, let's do it. That's how Anu is. Play if you want, let's do it. So he signed Murdoch to get on him. Right? And they smashed right into Meldick on purpose and destroyed that joint. All right, so you see the asteroid belt is between Mars, right, and Earth, Mars and Jupiter. So this asteroid belt is the leftover remnants from Meldick when it got destroyed by Murdoch's Nubaru. Right? All right, so keep in mind, we got to run this last part fast, right? So keep in mind that these 4 ships got locked in and it's a Nubaru force field. So as Nubaru start, because when he crashed into him, renegade style, it caused Nubaru to start wobbling, and he couldn't really get control over the ship. Took him a while to get control over the ship, and it also damaged Nubaru. It also damaged the outer core of Nubaru, to where we had to get gold to repair that part, putting gold in the atmosphere or in the force, in the gravitational force field, we had to start putting gold on Nibiru and the force field of Nibiru too, because of that crash. But these 4 winds, these 4 ninjas, these 4 Meldekian ships got trapped. And as we came around to pass Tiamat, which had 11 warships, which were moons, which really were ships. Boom, we crashed, one of them crashed into it, and these 11 ships attacked Nibiru. When they attacked Nibiru, we immediately launched flighter ships and immediately destroyed them too. Murdoch launched ships and destroyed them too. So one of the ships came down, boom, and knocked it in a chip off the bottom. One of the other ships came down and saved it and straight down to the bottom and carved a hole in it. Right? This is the first time. See right here? Short in the holy, this in the holy tablets, right? By explain this in the holy tablets. Boom. Shaving it almost in half. So after all of the winds hit it, and it took one Shah to get control of this. One Shah is 3,600 years. It took 3,600 years to get control of this, because when they came back around the second time, the other 2 winds hit. One wind crashed down into the Bermuda Triangle. One of the winds crashed down at one of these ships, crashed down in the Bermuda Triangle, and there were beings aboard that ship that went on to live in the Bermuda Triangle, right? And then another one crashed down and exploded because they had plutonium on it. It crashed down in on the next round on the Shaw. It crashed down into what they called it and created the Grand Canyons, right? So on that second Shaw, when the crash happened, they immediately launched these huge ships, motherships, to surround Tiamat, to remold it and rehealed it. And they used the tetrahedric energy to start remolding the planet. But it already had a hole shaped all the way down to the middle like a donut. And it already had half of the planet knocked off. So they had to remold, pretty much they can carve this planet almost with the way it's built, the way the inside is built with the asphalt and granite. They actually put that there like that, molded there with the granite, asphalt. It's like this crust is like 800 miles thick. Once you get 400 miles down, you cross center of gravity. Billy Woodrick's talk about that on his tapes when he talk about the center world. So how the center world come about is because of after the crash. The center world is designed after the crash. Right? We're gonna stop right there. Since we've been on an hour, right? We're gonna stop right there. And we're gonna come back on the next segment. We might do one well, it's already late, we're gonna see what my wife talking about. If she already sleep, we'll come back in about 10 minutes to do another one, unless she want me to lay down with her till she fall asleep. And then I'll just come back tomorrow. I think 2 should be enough, though. We might not come back tonight, though. We might come back tomorrow and come back with the next 2 traits. But I can't wait to get to the part when Nanar and then Ertu and all them come into the scene. That's when the stuff started to get good. The storyline started to get real good. When they come into the play, man, I'm telling you. We're just building you up because, and people say, why you, some of my Sabian brothers might say, why I'm still talking about the Anunnaki teachings. The reason why I'm doing this is because this going to tie into the Egyptian teachings, because of Damuzi and Murdoch. They start the ancient Egyptian, the Sabian line because Murdoch is really Amen. He changed his name several times. He was Amen Ra, he was Atum Ra. Because he went into exile after Damuzi got killed. They tried to blame him for Damuzi's, Ishtar blamed him for Damuzi's death. And so he went into exile till Anu came back to the planet and put a release on him. So we're gonna talk about that, man, as the time go on. Keep in mind, we hit that like button, hit that subscribe button before you get out of here. And like I say, we still got the 8 books. For a $45 donation to the Cash App, leave your emails in the link. We'll send you all 8 books by the Young Alien PDF form, right? ASAP. So if you want to get that, we got PayPal and Cash App. It's my PayPal, my Cash App is D Young Elder, not with an S on the end. There's somebody else running a scam, trying to take the money. They running a scam. So they made a Cash App just like mine. They just added an S onto it. So my Cash App say Cornswillion. My PayPal, when it say D Young Elder Conswillion, and my PayPal says D Young Elder Conswillion without an S on the end, not D Young Elders, just D Young Elder. Right? So we about to get up out of here, man. We'll probably be back either tomorrow or tonight. We're definitely gonna be back tomorrow with doing 2 more. We're gonna run 2 more tomorrow for sure. But we might be back tonight. It depends on how my wife feel, right? So we about to get up out of here, man. Peace and blessings. Islam, Hotep, Shalom Aleichem. Right? Salam, Assalamu Alaikum. Peace and love. Ashug, divine love throughout the balanced universe to all.